Hey everyone, welcome back to Rewind by Affinity Streaming. Today's movie is Gladiator from 2000, 2 hours and 50 minutes, rated R, and spoilers are ahead. Joining us today, special guest Bulat, who loves this movie.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Bulat? Good, good. Charlie, how are you?
I don't know. I'm doing all right.
All right,
Tired.
good. Tired. You should
Yeah.
be wide awake. It's great. Uh, Before we get started talking about Gladiator from 2000, please, guys, follow us on our socials. We are at Affinity Streaming. We are on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And I don't know if I said this already, but we will be spoiling this movie if you haven't seen it from 24 years ago, or 23 years ago,
23.
2023.
We're not that old yet.
Not that old, yeah. All right, Gladiator. 80 critics on Rotten Tomatoes, 87 audience, 7.9 on Film Affinity. Released on May 1st, 2000. Bulat, is this a rewatch or first watch for you of Gladiator?
It's a rewatch. I think it's like fourth or fifth rewatch. So it's
Oh, nice.
good.
Charlie, how about you?
Yeah, I was actually thinking it's kind of funny. I think I've only seen it on TV because it was like Gremlins, or it was just on TV like a lot. But I think they must have been like cutting scenes out because there's some scenes that also we watched the extended edition too, right? I think
I
that's the
believe
one
you. I
that we were
believe,
looking at.
yeah. I watched the Netflix version, which I
But
think
yeah,
was
I'd
original.
only seen it on TV, and so like I don't know if I'd ever sat down and just watched the movie as a movie, like on its own, without commercials every 15 minutes.
Nice. I originally saw it when it was released on DVD way back.
Okay.
Way back when. So
What's a DVD?
I see, when you were younger, you would go to this like store and rent these little discs,
You
and you had
rented
a
DVDs?
yeah, and you had a player, and you
It's
played
weird.
it.
I remember renting VHS tapes, but we didn't rent DVDs. I
Yeah,
don't know.
we rented DVDs. Yeah, that was a thing. Netflix started as a DVD company.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
know
They,
that?
they mailed. They just, like I said, they just stopped their mailing
Yeah.
service.
So I
And they're
believe
only
I
sending
I believe I
comic books.
rented it from Netflix on DVD and watched it in the comfort of my own home.
Okay.
Nice. Anyway, let's talk about this movie.
Yeah,
And
let's
just
do
guys, hop in whenever you wanna make a point. All right. The movie is about this general. He's like just a badass who's fighting armies all over
Yeah, I mean the
the
opening battle
world.
is really great. They
The
got like a
opening
lot of
the opening battle was really good.
yeah, they got like a
Um,
lot of people in there. There's like a lot of neat action stuff going on.
there's a
They got little
dog.
explosions in the background.
You They had a dog jumping through the fire
Like, why was that dog there?
to to bite people.
I guess it was just like a
Well,
random little thing, little
yeah,
random.
well, the Romans used to use a lot of armies actually used to use like fighting dogs, like in the battle. But this is just random one dog. They would
Yeah,
Yeah.
prepare and breed dogs for
yeah.
actual fighting.
I think they had the dog there just to make him be like, oh, look how good of a guy he is. He has a nice dog
He's a
too.
nice dog.
Like, it's like
I don't think Peter would allow dogs in the war right now. I don't think that's
well, the horses too. Like,
horses. Yeah,
Yeah, horses too.
it seems like it's kind of harder to fight on a horse than just on the ground. I guess.
well, you have if you get momentum, but I don't know how they got momentum like charging through a forest.
Yeah,
Charging
it
through
seems
a
like if you're
forest.
riding towards somebody with a sword, you could just like duck and hit the horse. I don't know.
Well, it's a big horse. Also,
Yeah,
they have
it's
the
a big
height,
horse.
but
Yeah,
like, I don't know. They were riding through the forest somehow.
height, and reach.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The
so he wins the
flanking is good
war,
always.
and
Yeah.
the who?
The flanking is always good. So what they were doing is this is
Oh,
the
flanking. Oh,
yeah. So they came from behind. So if you come from behind and charging on horses, like the masses, so you
yeah,
just
I
Yeah, so
guess that's
I'm
bad.
just saying they wouldn't have been able to charge through a forest. It doesn't really
yeah,
work.
well,
There would have been too much shit in the way,
Mm.
and the strength of the horse charge would be the wall, and you can't. You're just getting split by trees.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they only showed 5 horses charging at the end, because the rest got lost.
I guess.
All right, so Maximus wins. He beats the Germanic tribes, and the emperor says, "You know what? I want you to run stuff and forget my son Commodus, because he's an idiot."
Yeah, I liked all this setup was pretty good. Like Commodus's intro, he doesn't seem like that bad of a guy. It just kind of, until he killed his dad.
Yeah. So for like 10 seconds, he wasn't that bad of a guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like his intro is just he just looks like a, I don't know, like a wannabe emperor. Like he's just kind of like little.
Yeah. Played by Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin. I'm thinking of how it is.
Joker?
I'm thinking of Joaquin Noah from the Chicago Bulls. Anyway, whatever, the Phoenix guy, he did a great job. He was amazing actor. Yeah. And I guess we should mention that Russell Crowe also starred in this movie. That was directed by Ridley Scott for DreamWorks and Universal.
Apparently Russell Crowe got Best Actor. That doesn't seem correct, though. To me.
He did. He won Best Actor for this movie, and this movie also won Best Picture that year in the Oscars.
That seems weird. Like, what do you think about his performance? Because it's fine. I think it's good, but it's not. Is it really the Best Actor all year?
I mean, I thought he was. I don't know.
He plays like stoic man.
Yeah, I don't know who he was up against. Yeah, I don't know who he was up against, but I guess it
feels like one of those they liked the movie a lot, and so they just threw, because they got like a lot of awards. So they were just throwing awards at it.
Yeah, here you go. This is a great movie.
Yeah,
get some awards. So as you mentioned, Commodus murders his father and proclaims himself the emperor, and he has Maximus arrested after he refused to be loyal to him.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
as one does.
As one does. So he sends him out into the woods to get killed. So let me just say this right now. If you have enemies and you want them to be murdered, like, just have it done in front of you so there's no surprises. Like, don't do death traps and don't be like, all right, kill him, and then you leave the room. And just in every movie, they're like, all right, kill the star of the movie. I'm going to leave the room now. And then he ends up being alive somehow.
He had emperor shit to do. He had to go perv on his sister.
That was pervy on his sister.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they send the guys to go kill his wife and son, which was sad. They just ran over the poor boy with the horses. And
then they crucified him.
And then they crucified him. Yeah, and that was a shame.
And they burned him.
And they burned him. Yeah.
That was a lot going on. Why didn't they just kill him and go?
Yeah. So
because
he bears.
Because the general's supposed to be dead. So who was that? Who was that show for?
That's a good question. I guess supporters in case supporters of the general showed up at his house and was like, "Oh, let's meet here," and then anyway, so he gets taken in by some slave traders, and then he has to fight in the arena, and he gets so popular.
I wanted to go back though.
All right, let's go back.
Yeah, because then when the sister finds out, she slaps Commodus, but it's such a weak little slap. I don't know. It's just like a. I don't know.
She didn't mean it. She didn't.
I guess not that badly. But...
So I guess they had some kind of past, huh? Russell Crowe and the sister.
Yeah, it seems like they were together, and then he left or something like that, or she left, or they mutually left each other, or didn't work out for whatever reason.
I was confused. Who was the sister's son? Who was the father?
I don't think I don't know. Was it one of the
They said
senators?
they said
I don't think so.
Lucius, but that I don't know what the character really is. They said some name Lucius, but that just the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Phoenix's son for a second, but I guess that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
He wanted to have a son with his sister, which is kind of gross.
Yeah. Oh, also when he's galloping to his family, I actually recognized where they filmed.
Oh, really? Where's that?
Yeah, it's Lone Pine in California. We drove.
Ah.
It's like we drive by when we go to like Yosemite or that kind of thing. It's
Oh,
very, like,
nice.
those like rocks and the big mountains right behind it.
Nice.
I don't know. It's like, oh, I've been there.
So it's not
Hey, how do you get to California from Spain?
That's funny. So what happens next?
Yeah,
So he gets so famous. Yeah. Yeah.
He was kind of ready to die. I kind of like that stuff where he's like, oh, I give up. But Proximo, his new owner, gives a great speech. And he
Gets him
chooses
fired
life.
up.
He chooses life. He's like getting ready to fight. He puts like the sand on his hand. Like,
fun.
I can make like a good death instead of just, I don't know, dying right now.
Fun fact about well, I guess not a fun fact, but he died during filming, so they had to like the guy who played Proximo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they had to like CGI him in a couple of scenes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Which scenes?
I have no clue. I just says he
okay.
He died before production was finished, and they had to create a digital body double for the remaining scenes.
Okay. If I knew that, I would have been looking for it.
You'd been looking for it to see if you can spot it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's probably pretty obvious if you know what to look for.
Yeah, I feel like this movie held up. Like I mean,
yeah. Well,
I don't think. Yeah.
I guess I don't know, but I think they put in a lot of like real sets and stuff, and like I think they said they built I read they built the Coliseum. Just kind of.
So it wasn't green screen.
No, I mean I don't know if they built something so massive, but they built a lot of like the components.
Well, you could tell some of the people cheering were a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure those
robotic.
I'm sure those were fake. I mean, there's no real reason to get 20,000 people or whatever is supposed to be there.
Did have a budget of 103 million, and it made 503 in the box office, so it made a good amount of money. So they're fighting in front of the Emperor. So he's famous now, so he has to go fight in front of the Emperor.
About that first fight because it's pretty good.
Let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of your introduction to like the Gladiator arena fights, and I like how that poor guy who's just the scribe who just dies immediately.
Yeah. Oh, where they chain him to a red person or a yellow person? I guess was the red was the fighter and the.
I guess
yeah.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, I kind of like the setup. It's like it's a very low key fight, and then because it's relatively low key, they're just killing a few guys. I do like the big German guy, how he picks up a guy and just like puts him on a spike on the wall. So that was pretty fun.
That's how I would do it in the arena. I just pick him up.
Yeah. And then you're forgetting because he's doing some fights, and you're forgetting like his iconic line from the whole movie.
I was like, "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah.
I forgot that line was in the movie, and when he said it, I was like, "Whoa,
That's
yeah!"
The only line I really remember.
And I forgot it was there, but that was pretty cool. So he goes. So one thing I wanted to mention, like at some point, the Emperor was riding in on a like chariot into the stadium or something, and just like the look on Phoenix's face, he looked so uncomfortable. He was just like holding on. Look, he was holding on for life in that chariot. He was just like. I just thought I just noticed that for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, also, we can start talking about the next fight because it's related to the first one.
Which next fight?
The one in the arena, like the real Coliseum fight.
Oh, okay. When they first get into the real Coliseum.
The escalation between the first and the second one is great. You go from just like some guys kind of hitting each other to just like whole teams and like chariot horses and people getting cut in half. It's great.
Oh yeah, when they brought like the whole like he called them something in Africa. See, they brought the whole like chariot with bows and arrows and
Yeah, because
surrounded
they're
them.
like pretending it's like a old battle.
Yeah, that didn't seem pretty. That didn't seem fair at all. But I guess he didn't care about fair.
Yeah, they didn't want it to be fair.
He wanted to be fair, but they ended up coming together and shielding and
Yeah, the whole scene is great. How they're all working together, but for some reason you still have those. There's like 4 or 5 guys who don't. For some reason, like,
yeah, who were like, oh, I'm not following.
yeah, they
this
had
guy.
they had time to go back, seeing the other people die. They could have gone back and been like, oh no, let's not go it alone. But I don't know, they chose to die instead, I guess.
They're just showing you that you can't. Teamwork makes the dream work. You know, you got to have the team behind you.
Yeah, but yeah, no. What I really liked is like just how it's a really great fight. You have the chariots running around; they're like shooting the archers, and it's always like very clear what's going on. You know, I'm never like confused about like who's shooting what and stabbing who. You know, because like you have some movies where they have like the shaky cam and they're like spinning it around all over the place, but I don't know. They do a good job filming this.
All right. Do you remember the first time you saw it? You said it was on TV.
Yeah, I don't remember someone getting cut in half. I'll tell you that.
No. They probably edited that part out. It's probably on TNT or something. I feel like that's a TNT movie.
It was a TNT movie.
Do you remember the first time you saw it, Blue Lot?
No, I don't. I think it was somewhere in 2005. I think somewhere.
Like, did you see it in English or in Russian?
It was dubbed, fully dubbed.
It was dubbed Russian. Nice.
Russian.
In Russian, did they do the same kind of voices? Because like all the guys have that like kind of gravelly voice, that raspy voice. You know,
Well,
except for Commodus because he's a bad guy, I guess.
Well, the voices are interesting. So the voice acting is typically like Russell Crowe. I know his Russian voice. Is
Oh,
typically
really?
one guy.
There's the Russell Crowe Russian guy.
Yeah, there is Russell Crowe.
That's his whole thing is doing Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he does others. Ah, okay.
Well, sometimes they do, but typically they stick to one actor and they just do one actor.
Yeah, interesting.
And so there is Russell Crowe.
There's a Russian Russell Crowe out there.
A Russian Crow.
Nice. All right, so he fights and
Yeah. Did
he
you see Commodus? He does this little like woo thing. It cracks me up. He's like, oh, or something.
So did they have another fight before he? Was this the one where he was wearing the mask, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, reveal yourself
yeah.
to me," and then they had the whole big
The big reveal. That was great.
Reveal.
You know, seeing that on TV, because you'd be missing chunks of it. I always assumed it was like years later, but I guess it was just like a few months or something. You know?
Yeah, it did seem to go fast between when he had his first fight to now he's like all these men respect him and love him and he's the leader of the slaves or something.
Yeah, it felt like there were like years and years going by, but I think the whole movie must take place in like 6 months or something. Right?
Yeah, it's just crazy. And it went pretty fast for 2 hours. Like I usually hate over 2 hours, but I didn't find myself too distracted.
Yeah, and well, partly it's the music. The music really helps.
Did you also have this feeling? I'm sorry. Did you also have this feeling that it has some similarity to Pirates of the Caribbean at times?
The music, yeah.
Music-wise, it's like so.
Yeah, the dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
that's like the same. That's the same beat.
I don't think I've ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, none of them.
No,
there's like 7 of them.
I don't think I've been on the ride at Disney.
Not even the first one, because the first one's a pretty good.
I don't remember. If I did, I don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
But I am losing chunks of my brain to old age. So, so anyway, he figures out it's a guy.
Yeah, it's a very dramatic reveal.
Yeah,
he gives this whole little speech. Father to a slain son or whatever, murdered son.
Yeah,
it's great.
And I guess that's the first time the sister realized that he killed the dad. It seemed like she was like, "What?
No, I think she knew. That's why she slapped him in
Oh,
the
did
first
she?
place.
Oh, okay.
That's what I assumed. Is she smacks him in the face because she knows.
All right. Yeah, so they try and come up with this plan to take back Rome for the people.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I want to say like when I was a kid, I didn't really like care for those parts, all like the scheming and conniving, but I found them really interesting going through it this time. I was
as
like,
in
I don't know. I just remembered all I remembered from before was like the fight scenes, and then
yeah,
I forgot like all this other stuff going on. But it's like really interesting. All these different players, all like with their different goals, and I think that's what really like makes the movie. I don't know, more than just like a little fighting movie, you know?
yeah. I think as an adult, you see how it's still happening today. People
Yeah,
scheming behind the scenes to fight
yeah.
for control.
Especially like the senators who like know what's going on with the emperor, but like they just don't care.
Yeah,
They're like able to like get more power, so they don't really care.
yeah. That's what cracks me up when people always say, "Oh, I wish it was like it was back in the days." Like it's always been scheming and plotting. Like, what do you mean? Like, were senators like honest and good people 40 years ago? I don't think so. No, they were scheming and plotting then too.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not divert into politics. Okay, so Maximus puts his plan together with the ex girlfriend to see if they can like.
She has a lot of lovers around, because she's sleeping with the senator too, right?
Yeah. Did you think she was sleeping with the senator?
There is no proofs of any of these claims.
They met up and they met up and they kissed. What else does
The old man senator?
didn't she? Or am I losing my mind?
Well,
You tell me. You guys watched it too.
Maybe I looked down at my phone at that point. I know she was sneaking to his house. I thought he had a little side helper man that he was.
Well, it was Rome. I think everyone was sleeping with everyone.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah. What were you about to say, Bulat?
Yeah.
yeah. There is no like. There was no obvious proofs. I think that she was sleeping with anyone really there, but it might be like you go and like develop your own version of how it went, I guess, because like there was no direct
And we must.
scenes.
Yeah, we must mention that these people were based on like real people. Most of them, except for Maximus, was made up for this movie.
Yeah, most
But,
of them are real.
Yeah.
But like there is some divergency from historical thing in the actual movie. The Commodus wasn't that bad. He was bad, but he's not that bad. He did not kill his father.
He just had an ego. He had a big. He was like a big egotistical guy. He wanted his face on everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, like every Roman emperor, though.
Like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, pretty much.
So their plan gets discovered, I guess, because of the kid running his mouth.
Yeah, you can't trust kids.
Can't trust kids. Like, why would she tell her kid, "Oh, don't worry, Maximus is gonna save Rome"? Like, don't say that to the kid.
Yeah.
You know he's gonna run his mouth to his friends.
Yeah.
My mom said Maximus is gonna save us.
Yeah.
So he messed up the whole plan. Everybody gets killed.
That was great. Like how the plan falls apart is pretty good.
Yeah.
All the scenes, all the chaos, everything's falling apart. Our big German friend dies.
Bunch of arrows to the chest.
That made me sad. His second in command or buddy at the war camp dies. He has like the noose around his neck that it's hidden because it's dark.
Yeah, he yells. I feel like you could have seen the rope hanging from the thing if you were looking.
Oh, it's dark. There's like no lights.
Just put on your cell phone. Why don't you use a flashlight?
Put up his cell phone. Oh, like maybe he just calls him like, "Hello, are you free now?"
I just
want to say like they put the snake to the senator.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that snake is harmless. It's like because there's two snakes that have those patterns, and I think that's the one that's like harmless, not poisonous. So they just put like a harmless snake in his.
They screwed up. He's still alive.
Maybe they're just trying to scare him. He's like, "Oh my god, a snake!"
Yeah. So the plan goes to shit, and they catch him, and they string him up. This is why would Commodus challenge him to a fight? And I guess to show that he's the strongest
Well,
to all
because
the people.
so I think they did a good job with this throughout the movie. They're showing that he's just obsessed with getting people to like him.
Yeah,
From the very beginning, he just wanted his dad to like him, but he couldn't get that. So now he wants the people to love him. And and that's why he doesn't just kill him earlier, because they won't love him if he kills their
hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why he wants to do this, because he thinks like, oh, like if I win this fight, then they'll respect me and love me.
Yeah. I feel like he should have cheated a little bit more. Like if you're gonna cheat and stab him, he should stab him on like both sides.
Yeah,
so, like,
stab him like
so
20 times.
Both his arms would be weak, but he only stabbed him in one arm. He got cocky. Yeah, got cocky, and it cost him. What I didn't understand is why all of a sudden now the like military dudes are on his side. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's like all of a sudden, oh, he's fighting. Well, I'm on his side now.
Yeah, that was a little weird to me too.
Oh, I guess
it's kind of just like, well, the movie's over.
It's
yeah.
not,
Explain that, Bulat.
Yeah.
It's not that. Like, it's probably that. Well, I mean, it's my theory. It's again theory. So it's like fair fight. They like honor the fair fight. That's one thing. Another thing is like, well, they believe that there is no way this can go well. Like for the Commodus, like even injured, he's gonna take him. So
yeah, I guess once they saw that he could be defeated, they were like, all right, well, let's not cheat for him. Let's let it happen and hope he wins, because if he loses, we're all screwed over. I guess that's what they did.
Yeah, I guess like they just decided like maybe I think they're trying to set it up earlier that he wasn't fully with Commodus with like the execution of his his men. It's like, oh, they're good men, you know. So maybe they're trying to set up like, oh, he's not really with them, but again, he's like the sister where he's just kind of going along because one, he thinks he's doing what's good for Rome, and now he sees like, oh, maybe it's not, and now he's like, oh, now's my chance to like end it without actually going against him, you know?
Yeah. So that pretty much I kind of had a problem with the end. Like if it had just ended with him like seeing his family and like going off into the sunset, it'd have been fine. I didn't need another speech by the lady at the end. I guess the part of him burying the stuff in the Coliseum was cool.
Yeah,
at the end. But I didn't need the woman giving her little talk at the end, the sister.
That's all extended version, I think.
Was that extended version?
Yeah. It ends
okay.
Sunset, I think.
All right.
The Berlin thing was in the TV version. I remember that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she says that stuff too. Because I remember that, like, who will help me bury him?
Yeah, I didn't like that part. Hey, let's pick up the body, and everybody, and even the little kid is like wants to pick him up. But anyway,
the kid picking up was a little weird.
Yeah,
I feel like it made sense for like his Gladiator men and that Sender guy to do it. You know, the kid was like, "Why is this kid here? Get him out of here!"
Yeah, this was a good movie though. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
It held up very well.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't remember it holding up so well because I always saw it on TV and it was like, I like it, but I don't really think about it, you know.
So, Bulat, you've seen it 5 or 6 times, so you were like, you were all in on it, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Like it's holds up, and it's interesting how it's portrayed. There's a joke that I don't know if it's true, but people saying that a lot, and that guys think about Rome like every day, at least once. I don't know where that joke comes from.
Yeah, it's like some meme that was around for a little bit. I don't know if it's still around.
Yeah, I don't think about Rome at all.
But Bulat does. He thinks about Gladiator.
Bulat thinks about Gladiator. Anyway, we mentioned it won Academy Awards and blah blah blah. Everybody loves it.
That seems. I guess it just hit all the right notes. It has great action, so like the general audience loves it. It has
Great
It does,
music.
like I said, it does have the great like scheming and conniving and good little characters.
Yeah.
Critics are more into it, but I don't think Russell Crowe should have been Best Actor.
Yeah. So
fine.
apparently there was actually those tigers were not CGI, and Crow was injured by one of them during filming. So
is it one that jumps on him?
Yeah, maybe. That's interesting that they decided to go with real tigers at that point, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess that kind of shows like all this stuff is like it feels real.
Yeah.
You know? It doesn't feel like they're just waving swords at nothing. It feels real. It feels like they're getting hurt, and I think that really shows and makes. That's why the action feels so good, and that's why it still holds up. You know, because all the stuff looks and feels real.
Yeah, the movie holds up very well. Gladiator, Ridley Scott. All right, guys.
Good job.
Anything else you want to mention about this movie before we wrap it up?
No, I think we've covered what we wanted to say. Unless you had got something, Bulat.
No, I think it was pretty good. Like, yeah, I mean, it still holds up well.
All right. So on Bulat's favorite movies of all time list, is that correct?
Must be, right?
One of them, yes.
So wait, this time around, did you watch it in Russian or English?
The English. This time, actually, I watched it in English. So this was first time in English.
Oh, nice.
Is it different? Did you get anything different out of it, or what?
It is different, but you know what? I think it feels. I don't like it the way it feels because the music and the surrounding sound is so much louder in English version compared to the voice acting, like voices. In the Russian version, they boosted up the voices, so the voices go above the surrounding sound. And,
yeah. People in this movie talk pretty quietly.
Yeah,
like the sister's always like whispering. Russell Crowe's like somewhat not mumbling, but he's just kind of a growly voice.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say though. They were like openly talking about their plan, like in all these places. It's like you trust all these 4 servants around you to like keep their mouth shut, like and the 2 guards, like they're just talking about their plan, like yelling. And he was in the jail cell, like yelling his plan. Like, what? You want me to kill whom? Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, anyway. I got my army over there. We'll come back. We'll march into Rome.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. He's yelling it out to everybody, telling everybody the plan. Anyway, all right, but we love the movie. No, not too much to nitpick out of this.
The plan really fell apart when Maximus wrote Commodus a letter explaining what they were going to do.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, Bulat. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for recommending this movie, Charlie. Good to see you again. And we will see you guys next time on Rewind by Affinity Streaming. Have a good one. Bye.